Hey, welcome back to the series that we've been doing on Red's Taylor's version. I've been going track by track to see if I can find a deeper meaning within each of the songs. Today we are on another vault track which is titled Nothing New, and it features Phoebe Bridgers, which I haven't heard any songs by her either, so I'm curious to see where this one will go. But let's just get started.
They tell you while you're young, girls go out and have your fun. Then they hunt and slay the ones who actually do it. Criticize the way you fly when you're soaring through the sky. Shoot you down and then they sigh and say she looks like she's been through it.
Alright, let's read the lyrics because this one's going to be an interesting one. That first verse said, "They tell you while you're young, girls go out and have your fun, then they hunt and slay the ones who actually do it. Criticize the way you fly when you're soaring through the sky, shoot you down, and then they sigh and say she looks like she's been through it." I feel like this could be applied to almost every woman ever, because when boys do things, or guys, whenever they're younger, it's saying like boys will be boys, and maybe we've gotten a little bit better as a society, but for the most part it's still men are seen as immature, so their acts are excusable. But on the contrary, women are seen as mature and expected to do a lot more at a certain age. And I can see that being applied in this lyrics right there. But the one that kind of made me laugh a little bit was when she says, they tell you to fly, but then they shoot you down, and then they say that it looks like you've been through it. Because it sounds like they're expecting a woman to live her life through the lens of a man or the other perspective. One interesting example I can think of personally, it's like people are expected to be hot and sexy for people, but when they do it for themselves or they're doing it in a different way that doesn't make people feel comfortable, then suddenly they're a menace and they are this worst, then they're like the worst person in the world. I think of Miley Cyrus because I feel like she got a lot of criticism like that whenever she was coming up, transitioning from like her Disney days to what she kind of does now. But that was kind of a long tangent already, so let's just keep listening.
Lord, what will become of me once I've lost my novelty? I've had too much to drink tonight, and I know it's sad, but this is what I think about. And I wake up in the middle of the night, it's like I can feel time moving. How can a person know everything at 18 but nothing at 22? And will you still want me when I'm nothing new?
Okay, let me read those lyrics. So it says, "Lord, what will become of me once I've lost my novelty? I've had too much to drink tonight, and I know it's sad, but this is what I think about. I wake up in the middle of the night, it's like I can feel time moving. How can a person know everything at 18 but nothing at 22? And will you still want me when I'm nothing new?" That chorus seemed a little bit more universal because I feel like a lot of people feel like they know a lot at 18 when they first starting into adulthood, but then by 22 you're a completely lost person. I definitely went through that personally after graduating college and thinking like, what am I going to do with my life? So I feel like that's a little bit more universal. But to piggyback off of the first verse that I kind of mentioned that I felt was about like, women and like the scrutiny that they go through, I feel like when she's saying like she lost her novelty and will you still want me when I'm nothing new, it kind of reminds me of how, again, the difference between men and women, where an unmarried woman, for example, at like 30, I don't know, is seen like you're failing or you're not doing enough. But sometimes if it's a guy, it's like he's playing the field, he's a bachelor, like they can turn that into something, when for a woman, it's like, wow, you haven't started your families, you haven't done certain things that you should be expected to do, you're not married. It just kind of seems like it piles up in that way. But let's just keep listening.
How long will it be cute? All this crying in my room when you can't blame it on my...
Also, I didn't realize that the lyric video is like an hourglass, and it's kind of making me think of time running out, which is a lot to do with the song. So that's an interesting little connection.
And roll your eyes with affection, and my cheeks are growing tired from turning red and faking smiles. Are we only biding time till I lose your attention and someone else lights up the room? People love an ingenue.
I almost didn't notice the transition between Phoebe Bridgers and Taylor Swift. They sound kind of similar in this song, to be honest. But the verse that Phoebe Bridgers had said, "And my cheeks are growing tired from turning red and faking smiles. Are we only biding time until I lose your attention and someone else lights up the room? People love an ingenue." So this one kind of makes me think more of the perspective of a celebrity, because when she says, "and someone else lights up the room," it's kind of making me think that you feel like you're aging out of the industry. I feel like, especially for women, but maybe all artists, after they kind of find their shtick and do it for a while, they might start falling into some sort of irrelevancy. I know that didn't really happen for Taylor Swift because she's the songwriter behind her songs, and then also she does switch it up a lot. That kind of keeps people on their toes, I feel like. So like she hasn't really stayed in something long enough for people to get bored of. At least that's what I've learned so far. But I guess that's still a very valid feeling to have, even though it didn't happen to you, I guess.
I've had too much to drink tonight. How did I go from growing up to breaking down? And I wake up in the middle of the night. It's like I can feel time moving. How can a person know everything at 18 but nothing at 22? Will you still want me when I'm nothing new?
So the song just seems like it's an existential crisis and relatable.
I know someday I'm gonna meet her. It's a fever dream, the kind of radiance you only have at 17. She'll know the way and then she'll say she got the map from me. I'll say I'm happy for her, then I'll cry myself to sleep.
Okay, I think I have an idea, but let me read that bridge real quick. I know someday I'm going to meet her and it feels like a fever dream, the kind of radiance you only have at 17. She'll know the way and she'll say she got the map from me. I'll say I'm happy for her, but then I cry myself to sleep. That still kind of makes me think of more of the celebrity route for this song, where again, you feel like you might be aging out of the industry a little bit and you see someone with that usefulness or a shift in like popularity for someone who's younger and has more connections to the younger audiences and maybe is like adapting to the changing markets. I feel like I can't really name a specific artist, but I do feel like the introduction of TikTok and stuff like that might be harder for an older generation of musicians to grasp onto, as opposed to people that are getting on famous on TikTok right now. Actually, like someone like Billie Eilish, she's very young and like she kind of has that musical style that people are interested nowadays. So I feel like maybe that's someone. So I don't think that's specific to Taylor's situation, but I can see that being someone that you're happy for them having that success and maybe navigating through the life of a celebrity better than you did, but it's because they had you to look up to. So at the same time, you're a role model to these new people, but you're a little bit jealous that they're going through an easier time than you've had. And I feel like that's also a very valid feeling to have. Also, I did want to mention earlier, I feel like this does have some sort of connection to The Lucky One, because Taylor Swift kind of described having her own mentor about that person getting out of the industry. And I feel like now she's that person for this person in this song, if that makes sense. Like in The Lucky One, Taylor was looking at this person retiring and saying, I get what you meant. And then in this song, she's saying, I get the retirement thing, I get aging out, but at the same time, I want to be that shiny object for people. I don't want to like let this go yet. So I feel like it's just like that in between feeling that even if you're not a celebrity, like I mentioned, 20s, you don't know what you're doing. You're like on the cusp of being like an actual adult. Like you're probably having children, doing a lot of things like that. but at the same time you feel 18, and at the same time you feel like you should just be going on trips or something like that. But this is a very interesting and like complex song.
I've had too much to drink tonight, but I wonder if they'll miss me once they drive me out. I wake up in the middle of.
So I feel like that's kind of what I just said about feeling like you're on the cusp of being aged out. And she's saying like, will you miss what I brought to the table, I guess, in a way. And I feel like it's the same for a lot of artists, unless if you're very generic. But as much as people would try, I feel like there's not going to be another Taylor Swift. There's certain artists in an industry that there's not going to be another one. Will there be another good songwriter and good singer? Yes. But will they have the same exact charisma or abilities that this person has? No.
The night, and I can feel time moving. How can a person know everything at 18 but nothing at 22? And will you still want me? Will you still want me? Will you still want me when I'm nothing new?
Alright, so that was the end of Nothing New. Like I mentioned a minute ago, this song is very complex because even just hearing the chorus for like the third time, I already have another idea of what the song could be about. Even on a simpler term in a relationship, I feel like you can feel complacent and don't feel like you're maybe enough for that person anymore. Like they liked you at the beginning of the relationship, but then when you kind of get into that consistency and the normalcy of a relationship, people grow tired of it. And she's saying that she's kind of and in that situation, she could also be saying, I'm nothing new. There's younger girls, there's different things that could catch your eye, but like, what about me is going to keep you to stay? So I feel like this song can really just be applied to a lot of situations, and that's a sign of a good song also. But yeah, but overall, I really, really did enjoy this song. This is also another one of my favorites. But so far, the vault was really hitting. But tell me what you think about the song. Tell me if I'm missing something. I know you guys will let me know. So thanks for watching.